Welcome to another video from Between CAD Classes. This time I am doing another Too Tall Toby challenge. So the challenge is to see how quickly you can model the three parts that you see here on screen. I've used Autodesk Inventor 2023 for my particular challenge. If you haven't checked out Too Tall Toby's YouTube channel, I'll put a link in the description. It's a really fun challenge. You can practice your modeling skills and compete with others to see how quick you can model these parts. Without further ado, let's take a look at how I did. So again, I had to create three parts. The first part here, I began with the ABS template and sketched on a plane. Created several rectangular shapes. One thing that I did this time is I changed the speed at which Inventor rotates your screen when you create a new sketch, so that helped me save some valuable time. After I created some rectangular shapes, I added a rectangle here strictly to locate where the holes were going to be in a later sketch. That way I could just project these and not have to create another sketch. So you'll see that soon. I clicked and dragged to create the tangent edge off of the line there, then added a tangent constraint, angular dimension, and then a dimension for the arc. And then finally the circle. Next, I created my first extrusion and then turned on the visibility of the sketch so I could reuse it. On mine, I just created a little shortcut of V to do that quickly. Then I extruded the next shape and the next shape, add a couple of fillets in here, and then here you'll see that I sketched on the top surface and then just projected the endpoints of those two rectangle sides, and then I could quickly place holes on those. So there we can see my correct mass. And then we're moving on to the next part. So for this one, I created some construction geometry first to locate the centers of these three circles. I did switch them to construction lines because that allowed those to not be picked up when I used the extrude command later. Then I drew a couple of circles here to start, and then some more circles here. And one of the things I always mention on these videos is speed modeling is different than modeling parts for industry. I do a lot of things on these speed models that I would never do on an actual part, one of which is just creating everything in one sketch. It makes it a lot faster to not have to start and stop sketches. But as we'll see in here in just a few moments, I'm going to trim out some geometry after I add these tangencies and the fillet. And I'm going to leave behind some little segments, and it's also going to have some green under constrained geometry as well, which again I would never leave on a final part, but I know it's drawn in the correct location, and for speed modeling purposes I can go ahead and extrude. So here you can see those trims, the green geometry. Absolutely hate that, but again, for speed modeling that's what I'll do. I'm going to redraw that 80mm circle again since I trimmed part of it out. Once again, using my visibility shortcut to reshare that sketch, and then extruding the different depths, and then coming back in with the fillet command to fillet those two corners, and then finally looking at the properties to see the correct mass properties there. On to the third part. This one I was able to do everything basically in one sketch, and I did a series of rectangles again just because that seems to be a lot faster than actually drawing lines. So I've got some crossed over rectangles here, and then one for the bottom square shape, and then one for the cutout as well. So I'll start by extruding these mid-plane 80mm, and then once again turning on the visibility of the sketch again, extruding these two shapes 50, and then extruding just those inside pieces 30 as a cut. Then it was a simple matter of adding some fillets, and then adding in a hole, and then finally mirroring the entire part. So here you can see me do a concentric hole with a diameter of 30, and then mirror the entire part, selecting the mirror plane, and then once more checking my properties, and see that they're correct. And I came in at exactly 4 minutes. I was kind of hoping for sub 4 minutes, but I'm pretty happy with 4 minutes. So again, if you would like to try this out, check out the link in the description to Toby's challenges and see if you can do faster. Thanks for watching.